welcome back in the new video. In this video I am going to show you the usage of for loop in Ansible. So currently I am at home DevOps playbook where I have lists of playbook that I have created in previous videos. So let's create a new playbook called create user.yaml. So I will create playbook called, and I will name it for create users with loop. So suppose I want to create multiple users on dev group, and I will create one bars, and the variable name would be dev user, and I will create a few users here. First dev user 1, dev user 2, dev user 3, dev user 4. Yeah, so I have created 4 users and I have assigned the users to this variable dev user. Now let's go to task section. So now to create user we need to use a module called user. So let's check the user module and go to example section. Since I'm only going to create a user, so I will just copy this part and paste it here, correct the indentation. I think I have not copied completely, so copy it again and paste it here, correct the indentation. But I'm going to create a user with the help of this variable, and I'm showing you the example of loop. So what I will do, instead of defining particular name, I will use the key called item, and I will enclose this with a double quote. I will make a state present, and with the indentation of this module I will create a loop, and inside loop I need to name this variable, put the name of this variable, this one. So dev user, and what this will do is it will loop, it will run the loop for this dev user, and it has like 4 users. So the playbook will be, the loop inside this module will be executed 4 times, and we will have this 4 user created on the this dev group. So let's save this playbook and run the playbook. So let me check the syntax first. Yeah, so the syntax is fine. Run the playbook. Yeah, so on 101 dev user 1, dev user 2, dev user 3, dev user 4 is created. To verify that, again we will use command module. So -m for command, -a for argument, and cat etc password file to check the user if that is created or not. So if you see here, dev user 1, dev user 2, dev user 3 is created. So in this way we can use the loop inside the Ansible playbook. Now uses of if conditions in Ansible. So how we can use that? So I'm just going to use the previous playbook for that. So suppose my requirement is to create few users on to create dev users on dev host, right, and test users on test host. So how we can achieve that? So for that, suppose I have one variable, so I need to change it here, since we will be performing the task on dev as well as test group. So I will add it test, and if condition we are going to use. So we have dev user one variable. I will create another variable called test user, and I will inside that I will create some test user. So test user 1, test user 2, test user 3, test user 4. So one way is to create to create 2 plays inside the playbook, and in one play run for dev user and create this dev users, right? And another play just below this play we can write another play for test group, and we can create the test group with the help of loop. But in this case I am just going to use the if conditions, that is a conditional statement that if certain condition matches then only that task will be executed. So suppose in this case I have dev user and test users, and I want to create dev user on the dev host and test user in the test host. So if you see here inventory, we have in dev user we have 101 host, test group we have 102. So this is it. Now how we can achieve that? So let me change the comment here. Users for dev host. So how we can, so this section is final, right? Create user item state present, and but now I'm going to use the condition, that is when inventory host name in groups, and inside a dev group we have called 101 host. So I will just put the here group name, so that is dev for dev user, right? Similarly for test group I will just paste it here and I will make some changes. So for add users for test user group, so this will be item keyword, and for loop we need to run this variable in a loop. So I will just change it to test user, and where what is the conditions? So when the test users should be created when inventory host name in test group. So you may be worried like what is inventory host name? So this is a special variables or magic variables inside the ansible. So there are many special variables or magic variables in ansible, and you can check the documentation for that. So how this playbook will be now executed is the for loop will be executed similarly in the way we executed in the last playbook, but the conditions is here added that this for loop will be executed only inside the dev host, that is for this host. Similarly test user, this test user for loop will be executed only if the group is test. So let's save this playbook and run the playbook. So see, since our if you see the execution of this playbook for dev host, that is 101, the user is being created, okay, but for 102, that is test group, it is skipping for its execution for 102 host. Similarly for test host group it is skipping for dev host, that is 101, but it's executing for 102, that is test. So we can verify if the user is actually created or not. So for dev host group, dev users are created, dev user 1 2 3 4. Similarly for test group, let's check if the test users are created or not. Yeah, so if you see here, test user 1, test user 2, test user 3, test user 4. So in this way we can set a conditions in ansible playbook to change or to perform a specific task on a specific hosts only, a specific managed host only.